Let's be honest from the very first second. You are surrounded by noise. Noise that you did not choose, that you cannot control, but that is embedded in your skin like a silent curse. Society has sold you the lie of safety, comfort, and acceptance. They've told you that if you follow the rules, if you stay within the limits, if you fit in, you will be happy. But you know it. Deep down in your conscience, in the nights when insomnia strips you bare, you know it. That promise is empty. Comfort is a prison without bars. It numbs you, silences you, kills you slowly while convincing you that you are safe. But safety is not freedom. Safety is the price you pay for selling your authenticity, and that price is higher than you think. Friedrich Nietzsche shouted into the void centuries ago, "You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star." Chaos, pain, loneliness, they are not enemies. They are the only true allies you will have if you choose to walk the path of brutal authenticity. Because, listen closely, the world is not prepared for a mind that thinks for itself. The herd fears the black sheep, not because the black sheep is dangerous, but because it reminds them that there was always the possibility of choosing another path. They taught you to fear suffering, but suffering is not a punishment. It is the chisel that shapes the indestructible mind. Every disappointment, every fall, every betrayal, every dark night of the soul are tests. And here comes the truth that almost no one can bear to hear. Most people fail, not because they are incapable, but because they run away from these tests. They prefer the warm mediocrity over the cold, glacial challenge of self-improvement. A strong mind is not born from passing motivation. A strong mind is forged in daily resistance, on gray days, in the absolute lack of witnesses. No one applauds the warrior who trains in the dark, but it is in that darkness where mental empires are built. Do you think true success needs spectators? Genuine success happens in silence, while others are busy seeking validation in the approval of the mediocre. You will be a threat. Do not doubt it. When you begin to question, when your gaze pierces the surface and seeks the essence, you will discomfort. The comfortable ones will see you as an intruder, as an uncomfortable reminder of their early surrender. They will try to bring you back to the fold with criticisms disguised as advice. They will tell you to be realistic, not to complicate your life, that it isn't worth it. But don't listen to them. Don't make the mistake. Those pieces of advice are chains disguised as flowers. The true revolution is not about changing the world, but about changing yourself in front of a world that demands your obedience. Let chaos pass through you, but not to destroy you, but to transform you. Don't flee from existential emptiness. Dance with it. The void is not a threat. It is a blank space waiting for you to write your own story. And when you do, when you begin to live by your own rules, you will feel the friction. It will be uncomfortable, heartbreaking, and at times unbearable. But every fiber of resistance you develop will be a declaration of independence. True freedom doesn't come when challenges disappear, but when you become bigger than them. Ask yourself every day, do I live to satisfy imposed molds or to shape my own path? Because here's the brutal reality. If you don't define your path, someone else will do it for you. And I guarantee you that they won't do it thinking of your greatness, but their own comfort. External systems are sugar traps. They seduce you with sweetness, but weaken you with every bite. The only authentic sovereignty is the one that is built within. And to get there, you must go through the storm, not surround it, not wait for it to subside. Go through it with your head held high, even if the wind tears your skin apart. Loneliness will be your most loyal companion. Embrace that company. It is not a sign of failure. It is the confirmation that you have stepped off the common path. The great builders of unbreakable minds have known loneliness as intimately as they know their own thoughts. They've dialogued with their demons until they became allies. Don't seek to be understood. That's another trap. The deeper you think, the higher you rise, the less others will understand you. And that's okay. The understanding of others is not a requirement for greatness. It is an unnecessary luxury. Prefer misunderstanding to complacency. Prefer isolation to the falsehood of empty applause. Always remember, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering comes from resistance to reality. Accept discomfort as an essential part of your growth. Every adversity you face without bending the knee is one more brick in the fortress of your mind. Being the absolute master of your existence involves a brutal burden. It means accepting that there is no safety net, that every It means accepting that there is no safety net, that every decision matters, that every mistake is your responsibility. But it also means that every achievement will be genuinely yours, without ties, without debts to others' dictates. Walk with the certainty that most will prefer to point out your scars rather than admire your courage. But don't stop. They criticize because they fear. They observe from the safety of the shore while you dive into the ocean of uncertainty. Let them. Their judgment is irrelevant. Collective mediocrity is a plague. It disguises itself as prudence, common sense, experience, but deep down, it's pure petrified fear. Fear of freedom. Fear of total responsibility. Fear of the possibility of failing without excuses. You are not here to please the masses. You are here to build a mind that withstands the storm and dances in the rain. To create your own values that don't need the validation of conformists. To raise an inner empire that neither criticism nor oblivion can tear down. The silence of your progress will be deafening to those who live off external approval, because every step you take towards your own truth will be a mirror reflecting their cowardice. Not so you can judge them, but so you understand the price of choosing authenticity. Remember this: the greatest act of rebellion is thinking for yourself. It's daring to look beyond the horizon that others accepted without questioning. It's becoming the architect of your own destiny, without asking for permission, without waiting for applause. So keep moving forward. Embrace chaos, loneliness, discomfort. They are the heralds of your transformation. Let every scar you carry be a testament to your courage, not your submission. Let every dark night remind you that you are alive, awake, and refuse to sleep in the cushioned bed of mediocrity. The strong mind is not inherited. It is built, day by day, battle by battle, decision by decision. And when you look back, you'll see that every wound has been a lesson, that every rejection has been an opportunity to affirm your authenticity, that every moment of doubt was, in reality, the threshold of a new inner strength. Don't expect understanding. Don't seek refuge in others' opinions. Don't give in to the temptation of fitting in. Because in the end, when the noise fades and you're alone with yourself, only one question will matter. Were you true to your own essence? Make the answer an unshakable yes. Not for pride, not for empty rebellion, but because that is the only true way to live. And in that moment, you'll understand that there is no greater strength than that of a mind that belongs entirely to itself. And now I want you to think about something you've probably never considered seriously enough: the invisible slavery of inherited expectations. Yes, those that you did not choose, but that operate in your mind like a silent machine, determining every step you take without you even noticing. Since childhood, they told you what it means to be successful, what it means to live well, what it means to do the right thing. But no one asked you if that fit with who you really are. They implanted a pre-written narrative, and most people live entirely within that foreign mold, without suspecting they could have broken it from the very first day. That's the most sophisticated trap of the system. They don't chain you physically, but mentally. They sell you dreams that aren't yours, aspirations that feed external gears but empty your inside. They program you to chase achievements that, once attained, leave you with a deeper emptiness than what you felt before starting. And in that emptiness, some get scared and run back to the fold, while others, the few, the brave, decide to stay and build from nothing. Because, listen closely, building from nothing is not a failure. It's the privilege of those who have awakened. It's the true starting point of a sovereign mind. Now, I want you to imagine your life without any of those imposed expectations, without the script others wrote for you. Who would you be? What would you dedicate your days to? This question is uncomfortable because it reveals the brutal reality. Many fear freedom because with it comes an unbearable burden for the weak of spirit, the total responsibility of your existence. Here comes something very few dare to face: self-authority, being your own law. And I'm not talking about childish rebellion against external norms. I'm talking about brutal maturity, where you become the supreme legislator of your life. Most delegate that authority to systems, leaders, dogmas, because carrying it is crushing. But those who truly assume it, those who decide to follow their own code, access a dimension of power that is closed to the conformists. Now I want to take you even further. Let's talk about contempt for internal mediocrity. Not for external mediocrity, that's easy and even arrogant, but for your own. Every day you act below your true potential, you are betraying yourself. Every time you choose the comfortable path instead of the right one, you are feeding your own silent decay. But few dare to look that mediocrity in the eyes, because doing so is painful. It's admitting that you've lived halfway, that you've given in to the temptations of ease. The strong mind does not settle for despising the mediocrity of others. It destroys it within itself, uproots it, even if it hurts, even if it bleeds, even if the decay is unbearable. Nietzsche spoke of the Übermensch, the being who transcends the limitations imposed by the herd's morality, not as an external ideal, but as a constant process of internal self-overcoming. That is the path I'm proposing to you, to become the ruthless architect of your personal evolution. But here comes something most don't understand. This path has no final destination. There is no glorious goal where you can rest. It is a perpetual struggle, a relentless battle against the comfort that tries to seduce you every day. And that struggle is precisely what gives meaning to your existence. Glory is not in arriving, but in never stopping. There's a critical point in this journey that no one talks about: the ability to destroy previous versions of yourself without attachment. Burn your stages without looking back. Nostalgia is a slow poison that romanticizes times when you were nothing more than a shadow of what you can be today. Those who fail to move forward are those who chain themselves emotionally to their own ruins, unable to let the inner demolition give way to a powerful reconstruction. Each inner rebirth demands a symbolic death, the death of the you who was yesterday. Don't fear that daily funeral. Celebrate it, because it means you are still growing, that you have not become an existential fossil. Now I want you to pay attention to this crucial detail. Internal enemies are always more dangerous than external ones. Self-pity, procrastination, constant doubt. These are the true saboteurs. It's not others' criticism that stops you. It's the narrative you repeat in your head. Change that narrative, and you will change your destiny. It's that brutal and simple at the same time. Don't seek to be understood in this process. Misunderstanding will be the proof that you're moving forward. Those who dare to think for themselves are, inevitably, misunderstood by the masses. But misunderstanding is not a punishment. It is a confirmation that you have stopped speaking the language of conformity. Destroy the bridges that tie you to social expectations. Don't look back. Emotional dependence on others' validation is the anchor that keeps most stuck in the stagnant waters of mediocrity. Break those chains, even if it hurts, even if you tremble, even if it seems like you are falling into the void. I promise you, it's just the initial fall before you spread your own wings. And I want you to understand something deeper. Radical authenticity is not comfortable. It is not easy. It is not popular. It is solitary. It is ruthless. It is painful. But it is also the only path to a full existence. When you walk true to yourself, even suffering becomes a teacher, not a tormentor. It teaches you to toughen up, to refine yourself, to rise above the limits that others accepted without struggle. Building an unbreakable mind is, essentially, building an existence that does not need external crutches. It's walking barefoot over life's embers, knowing that every burn strengthens your skin, that every pain sharpens your focus. I want you to remember this. Easy lives create soft people. Storms forge mental warriors. Don't avoid the storm. Enter it with your chest uncovered. Let it mold you. Let it purify you. Because it's there, in the eye of the existential hurricane, where you will discover what you are truly made of. And when you do, when you finally rise as a being who belongs completely to himself, you will discover a freedom that is priceless. The freedom of not depending on anything or anyone to feel alive. That is the essence of true strength. Keep moving forward, not out of necessity, but by choice. Because you understand that living without authenticity is just a slow way to die, and you didn't come to this world for a slow death. You came to burn intensely, to light your own path until no darkness can contain you. But wait. Before closing this journey, I want to take you even deeper. I want you to ask yourself, with brutal honesty, who would you be if you weren't afraid of losing everything? Think about it. No possessions, no status, no recognition. No, just you, your mind, your spirit, naked in front of the vastness of existence. If you feel vertigo imagining it, it's because, deep down, you depend more on those things than you think. And here is the final paradox. Only when you accept the possibility of losing everything is when you truly have everything. Because when you no longer care about losing, they can't control you. There's no threat that can paralyze you, no criticism that can stop you, no loss that can destroy you. And that total immunity, that mental invulnerability, is the purest form of power that a human being can achieve. The true mental warrior is not the one who never feels fear, but the one who turns that fear into a torch that lights his path in the dark. Look, those who live depending on others' approval are disguised slaves, tied with invisible chains made of expectations and collective fears. You can't afford that luxury. If you've come this far, you've already felt it within you. There's something burning, something that doesn't allow you to conform, something that demands you go beyond. That's what sets you apart. That's what separates you from the herd. Don't fool yourself. It won't be a bed of roses. But you wouldn't want it to be. Easy paths don't lead to anything worth it. You want to forge yourself in discomfort, temper yourself in adversity, sculpt your character in the hard rock of raw existence. You want to feel every step of the process because you know that it is precisely in difficulty where unbreakable solidity is built. And when the quiet night comes, when the world sleeps, and only the echo of your own thoughts resonates in your mind, that's when you will know who you truly are. No masks, no disguises, just you facing yourself. And that vision, if you've done your work well, won't scare you. It will make you proud. Proud to be a work that was never shaped by chooge hands. So now, if something I've said has pierced your chest like an arrow, I invite you to do something. Leave the phrase, "The fire does not fear the wind," in the comments. That way I'll know you're not one of those who pass through life as just another shadow, but that you are here to ignite your own flame, even if everyone tries to put it out. Subscribe if you want more doses of brutal truth like this. Here, you won't find anesthesia for uncomfortable truths, but you will find tools to build a mind that can withstand any storm. And now, to close this journey, listen closely. This video doesn't end when the audio stops. This video keeps playing in your head every time you doubt yourself. Every time life corners you. Every time you hear the mediocre voices trying to stop you. There I'll be, resonating in your mind, reminding you that you were born for much more than being a docile piece of the machine. Saying goodbye would be too common. So I won't say goodbye. I'll just disappear, as everyone who refuses to live under unnecessary spotlights should. Remember, the next time you doubt, when you feel like you're faltering, think about this. The darkness doesn't swallow you. The darkness reveals you. We'll meet in the shadows, builder of your own freedom.